Hey guys. Before I start the video, I'd like to apologize for the fact that I'm using this voice. I am fully aware it's irritating to listen to, but I'm not putting my actual voice out on the internet for space yaoi, okay? Alright. This isn't going to be a long one, since I don't have too many thoughts on the matter, but here we go. Now, if you are new to this, then Bloodymary is a ship between Simon from Iron Lung and Grace from Project Hail Mary. It's been getting popular on sites like Tumblr, where the tag has been trending for a while, and possibly YouTube too, though I haven't been on YouTube much recently, so I'm not sure. I do know, however, that a couple of popular YouTubers have made videos on Bloodymary. I won't be commenting on these videos, since I haven't watched them and don't plan to. I don't actually dislike Bloodymary. I've read a few of the fics, and I've even posted some fan art on my Tumblr for it. However, with all the attention that the ship has been getting, I wanted to make a video on some of the issues that I haven't seen widely mentioned within the community. Number 1. Why do people feel the need to bring in a new character entirely to ship with Grace, when there are already existing characters to ship him with? I can see why someone might like it. Simon and Grace both have similar events happen to them, such as being sent into space against their will to save humanity. Both by women whose names are 3 letters long and end in VA. But how come ships between Grace and other characters in Project Hail Mary aren't nearly as popular? Such as Carl and Grace. Carl and Grace interact in the movie. They have cute scenes where they go shopping, and Grace breeds the astrophage, which he says is him and Carl's baby, as well as Carl being there when Grace is sent into space. But the amount of fan art and fics of Grace and Carl are not nearly as many as Simon and Grace. Why do you think that is? Well, one of the differences between Carl and Simon is that Carl is black. The actor playing Simon is Korean and German. Now, I'm not saying that everyone is consciously being racist when they choose to ship Bloodymary, but as a fandom, I think people should step back and take a look at why one ship is more popular than the other. Racism in fandoms is a very real problem, and, even if you aren't aware of them, your own biases may be affecting how you interact with media. This brings me into my second point. Why do people feel the need to ship Grace with a man? Now, I completely understand wanting gay ships. I love yaoi, you love yaoi, we all love yaoi, okay? Take it from a certified lesbian, I love gay ships. But a lot of Bloodymary fan works at best completely ignore Strat, and at worst demonize her. I'm not sure how the people of YouTube view Strat, since I haven't really been active on here since Project Hail Mary came out, but Strat is not an evil character. She is a woman who stepped up into an impossible situation, and did what was best for humanity, even if that meant hurting people. You don't have to love Strat. You don't even have to like her. But in the Bloodymary fandom, there is a wider trend of Strat being either ignored or demonized, and often flattened into a one-dimensional caricature of evil woman who tried to kill Grace. Misogyny in fandoms, especially in fandoms with a lot of gay ships, is something that has been a problem for a long time, and is not unique to Bloodymary, but being aware of biases is important. Now, my third point. What about Rocky? I understand that maybe you don't want to ship Grace and Rocky because Rocky is an alien. We can't all be freaks, I get it, lol. But how about human Rocky? I've seen a bunch of great designs for human Rocky floating around. The ship between Grace and Rocky is definitely more popular than the one between Carl and Grace, which makes sense, since the entire movie centers on Rocky and Grace, but even then it is, in my experience, less popular than Bloodymary. Not to sing the same tune, but Rocky is either implied, or even confirmed by the directors to be on the autism spectrum. Biases, people, biases. Just take a moment to think about why one ship is more popular than the other. My next point is, why feel the need to ship Grace at all? I, for one, love the headcanon that Grace is aromantic asexual. I think that it actually fits his character really well, and makes the "you don't even have a dog" line hit harder, as many people in society assign a person's value to their relationships. Now, the headcanon that Grace is aromantic asexual is pretty popular, from what I can tell, but still, maybe take a moment to consider why you feel the need to ship him at all. Do we really need to contradict one of the messages of the story, that a person has value without being in a traditional relationship? Is grace alone not enough? Another issue is the mischaracterization of Simon and Grace. Now, I get it. Getting the characters right in writing can be hard. I have experience. But sometimes, it feels like people have just copy-pasted Grace and Simon onto that one hot yaoi base thing. Simon is shown as angry and aggressive, whereas Grace is timid and sensitive. I haven't actually watched Iron Lung yet, but from what I've heard from people who have, Simon is so much more than just an aggressive convict, same as Grace is way more than a pathetic puddle of tears. Grace gets angry, such as when he gets upset after realizing that astrophage is a water-based life form, or when he punches the monitor after realizing that Rocky's ship has gotten a leak. Flattening down the characters to just aggressive and dominant and shy and submissive is doing such a disservice to the writing of the movies and book. Of course, this doesn't apply to all Bloody Mary fan works. I'm sure that many people do characterize them well, but I've also seen the same stereotypes for the characters be used over and over again, to the point where they don't even seem like the same people. My final point is some of the slightly alarming ways that I've seen people talk about Grace and Simon's relationship. Simon is Asian. Grace is white. Seeing people talk about how Simon would worship Grace and treat him like he was a god is pretty scary, and leans into white saviorism territory. Simon calling Grace Angel as a nickname is cute, but there is a point where it borders on racism, and people really need to be aware of this. Now, does this mean that you can never ever ship Bloody Mary and that anyone who does gets thrown into the blood ocean? No. Number 1, I can't tell you what to do. And 2, if you think about the media that you are creating and interacting with, and make something that doesn't play into stereotypes or biases, unconscious or otherwise, then go crazy with it. Fandom is meant to be fun for everyone, which is why it's important to think critically about why some things are prioritized over others, and what potentially harmful trends might have popped up. This helps keep the fandom safe for everyone. There are definitely other people who have spoken out about these issues in the Bloody Mary fandom. A specific Tumblr user comes to mind, but I don't want to name them, since they aren't a discourse blog, and would rather not repeat their points about Bloody Mary over and over again. A lot of their points are similar to the ones in this video, though, so if you know who I'm talking about, they have a couple of good essays on the topic. If you made it this far, then thanks for listening, and hope you have a good day or night. Stay safe.